Reading comprehension passages. In the woods. It was already dark when we started taking down the tents to go home. We had had a wonderful time together in the woods, gathering mushrooms and making videos of all the small animals we came across. Then we had lit a fire to warm up the food we had brought with us from home. We talked and laughed and lost all notion of time. Then suddenly John exclaimed, "Guys, have you seen the time? It's going to get dark very soon." "You're right," I answered. "Let us start getting ready to go home." We had just started taking down the tents when Lisa said she had heard a strange noise. We didn't pay much attention to that, as we all knew how easily frightened Lisa was. "It is probably nothing," I said. "Don't worry. We are leaving anyway." "Could it be a bear?" she asked, looking very worried. "Nah, it's probably some small animal, maybe a raccoon or even a squirrel." That seemed to calm her down a bit. I had finished packing my stuff and was heading for the car when I heard what sounded like a roar. It wasn't very loud, so it was probably far from where we were camping. But it still made my blood run cold. I closed the car trunk as noiselessly as I could and started walking back towards the campfire. No sooner had I started walking than I heard that roar again, only this time it was much closer. I stopped dead in my tracks, but I was too scared to turn around. Lisa was right, there was a bear, and I was alone and utterly terrified. I couldn't move or call for help, so I stood still for a couple of minutes. Finally, I gathered my courage and turned around very slowly. There was a brown bear standing at about 10 meters from where I was, and it was looking straight at me. I tried to avoid making eye contact and stood as still as I could. The bear kept looking at me, and then it started to move slowly in my direction. I could have fainted, then suddenly I heard loud shouts coming from behind me. It was my friends who, armed with tent poles and flashlights, were shouting and banging on the frying pans as they ran in my direction to try to scare the bear away. I don't know if that was an intelligent thing to do, but it worked. The bear let out a loud roar before it turned away and started walking slowly away from us. I was safe. Exercises. 1. Write the opposites of the words in red. 2. Correct the following statements. 1. It was already dark when they started setting up the tents. 2. John and Lisa were alone in the woods. 3. They lit a fire because it was very cold. 4. John was worried about a strange noise he had heard. 5. Lisa saw a raccoon. 6. The speaker found himself face to face with a wolf. 7. The speaker wasn't afraid of the bear. 8. The bear attacked the speaker. 9. The speaker scared the bear away. 3. Complete the following statements with correct words from the text. 1. It was already, when we started, down the tents to go home. 2. It is going to dark very soon. 3. We talked and laughed and lost all of time. 4. We had just started down the tents when Lisa said she had heard a strange. 5. It is some small animal, maybe or even a squirrel. 6. It wasn't very loud, so it was probably far from where we were, but it still made my blood cold. 7. No, had I started walking, then I heard that again, only this time it was much. 8. I couldn't move or call for help. I stood for a couple of minutes. 9. I tried to avoid making contact and as still as I could. 10. Then I heard loud shouts coming from me. 11. It was my friends who, with tent and flashlights, were shouting and on the frying pans as they ran to try to scare the bear away. If you liked the video, please share and subscribe, and thank you for watching.